The following match is scheduled for one fall.
Look who crawling, still ballin' in the mix. It's that 6'6" long dicks, little nigga sticking your chick. Pulling tricks, looking slick at all times when I'm flipping. Bar sipping, car dipping, Grantwood, grain gripping. Still sipping on four rolls, four hoes, and no haggis, and no haggis. Blowing on that endo, GameCube, Nintendo. 5% tint, so you can't see up in my window. These don't understand me, cause I'm boss hog on candy. Top down at Maxis with a
making his way to the ring.
Creased up, stand dressed to impress. Big boss
from Greenspoint, Texas, representing the mighty Swisher House.
Sliding like an escapade. I got it made, the big boss of the North. Ain't shit changed, I still represent Swisher House.
The bounty hunter, Bryan Keith.
I'm tipping, wood grain.
I want a revolution. I'm a revolutionary, fool.
From Charlotte, North Carolina, he's the intergalactic soul. He's the honorary brother, the revolutionary, Darius Lockhart.
Have you ever seen anything more beautiful than an ocean of people with their fists raised in the air for Darius Lockhart?
The first time I ever saw Darius Lockhart do his thing, and I'm unabashed about the fact that he is one of my best friends in this business, and I love that man. I think the world of him. The first time I saw him was at PWX when he defended his ITV championship versus Shane Strickland. And he held his fist up, and there was a sea of Latinos and whites and blacks, Asians, 500 people in that building. And when he's saying be a revolutionary, it's bigger than just, of course, he's a proud black man. He wants to uplift everything black, all things black. But when everybody comes together and they see and they understand what it is that they're doing, and they're not trying to talk over each other, it's just we get the message together. It's a beautiful thing, and that's the vibe that Darius Lockhart brings to this. And it's like, I want nothing but success for this man. But he drew a tough-as-hell card in the name of Bryan Keith, who is the man in Texas right now. Swisher House's only repped professional wrestler. Big-time deal in heavy metal wrestling, new Texas wrestling. He's the guy. He is the guy. This is like if Slim Thug at his height was going against J. Cole at his height. We putting on for two different things right now, Texas and Charlotte, North Carolina. Let's see which one comes to the right to the head, you know?
I want to tell you that was a dated reference, but, you know, I really appreciate I have someone with a wealth of knowledge like you next to me who can bring this to light for everybody else. Bryan Keith, the bounty hunter from Houston, Texas, absolutely bringing it. He has a bounty out right now on Darius Lockhart, who claims, catch us if you can.
Oh, absolutely. And, like, right now, he's going into that technical side. Darius, full of nerves. Like, he don't look it, but definitely full of nerves. This is his first match live in a year. You know, he had the injury from Fight Club versus Trish Adora while trying to take the championship from her. And then on top of that, like we had the. I don't know what happened. And then on top of that, we had the issues as far as it goes with COVID-19, of course.
Iris is
so now he's back. But meanwhile, Bryan Keith been working.
Absolutely.
No days off.
Once again, we have been trying to praise Darius Lockhart. He's one of our heroes. He's a man coming back from injury. But like you said, Bryan Keith been putting in the work. Bryan Keith, one of the standouts down in Texas, now for his debut match here at For the Culture. I believe this is Darius' debut match at For the Culture as well.
I said Calvin King spit water on
That's
the
correct.
lens.
Now, here's the thing that's definitely a trip for me. If I'm Bryan Keith, because I'm thinking about all the hype Darius Lockhart's got coming in off of the promos, the energy, the talk, the hype behind him. I'm Bryan Keith. I'm out here collecting bounties. I'm hunting heads. I'm running my state, and then I'm coming through running other states. Do we know that Bryan Keith holds a win over Lee Moriarty right now? Do we know this? Because he came to Texas, and guess who came out with the W? Bryan Keith. I'm not trying to hear about the hype of Darius Lockhart. I'm trying to hear about what I'm doing right now, and I think that's what he's out here to definitely prove.
Lee Moriarty is the best wrestler in North America, and Bryan Keith has defeated him. And now he is standing against a recently healed Darius Lockhart. But both of these men, despite the fact that he has been on injury with Darius Lockhart, and despite the fact that Bryan Keith has been putting in the work, they both have something to prove right here, right now, for the people here at For the Culture and those watching live right now.
Now, little thing that you saw there as far as it goes, like me and Darius, of course, taking our time in the UK. When he tried to get himself together, notice that he did the capture where he went into his throat.
Yes.
As far as it goes to put him down. If you're losing air and you're getting that kind of push, it's going to take the whole body with it. It's the simple things and it's finding the little things that hurt. Darius is owning his arm right now.
Absolutely, driving it down there. That knee strike there as well, dropping it right into there. They're going to knock that right out of socket.
He's running that arm right now like he owe it on the 1st to 15. That's what's going on right now.
Should I bring it up to you?
Right there, the arm not causing any trouble there for Darius, sliding through. Beautiful variation of a toe takeover.
Yeah.
Great finding the legs.
We saw earlier with Jassi, usually you slide through the legs, but he made sure he got the capture on this. Now, this one might be familiar to some who watch Lucha as far as it goes to that thing. It's a reverse surfboard stretch. So he's definitely got the legs cradled up. He's got the arm nice and bent back. This is control right here. And the more he leans back, there it is.
Once again, it seems that now Darius Lockhart has a bounty out on Bryan Keith's shoulder, but Bryan Keith, no slouch here right now. Either going down for the leg right there. I believe the,
got the heel
left
hook in.
leg very deep as well. Darius deciding instead of trying to fight and waste more energy, rolling over to the ropes, very intelligent. But what does that say? Does that point out that Darius was afraid of that hold, knowing he couldn't waste time on it?
Well, that and like the only mistake that I would make on that, and I got to call that kind of stuff out on my own people, it's just one of those numbers where he left his feet exposed, so of course he got the heel hook. Then he made Bryan Keith mad. You saw the boot that he threw after they got to the ropes. So Bryan Keith returned in kind and then made sure to follow up with the kick as well, too. Again, this dude is about his business. Reality of wrestling, you heard of it. Booker T, former television champion. That ain't an easy accolade to get over there in Texas, and he ran that division for a good time in 2015.
Absolutely. Trained by Booker T is Bryan Keith as well. A pure representative of just top professional wrestling talent. enormous chest kick caving in Darius Lockhart's chest. I don't mean to laugh at the suffering of one of my friends out there. It's more along the lines that I'm glad it's not me out there.
This man is trying to knock the melanin out of Darius Lockhart right now, and that's going to be an all-night job. But he's up for the task, as we can see that. Darius Lockhart, a George South trainee, also Dojo Bros with one Cedric Alexander. So they both know, as far as it goes, that hard-hitting style.
Tremendous Iranagi slam there. I don't mean to cut you off there. That could have very well have been it.
That very well could have been the wrap-up on that. And Darius is looking in a bad way right now because Bryan Keith is doing what we like to call dissection.
Dissection indeed. This time going for the side of the head. He was caving in the chest with those kicks, now going directly for that head, that Uranagi style slam, attacking both the ribcage and the back of Darius Lockhart's head. And Darius seems to be muttering to himself out there in the middle of the ring.
God, this is why the Japanese train legs so hard with squats. If you can't stand up, you can't fight. And you notice how he went ahead and he threw that chop. No mustard behind it because he can't get a good center base. Look at him. He's always, the knees are weak. Like he's going to fall. And I feel like if he keeps taking these strikes off of Keith like that, he's going to fold. And I would hate for that to be the way that Darius is introduced to so many people around the world watching GCW after being gone so long.
Absolutely. But again, this match so far, we've seen the technical acumen of Darius Lockhart. He is a student of the game, and I know that is a cliched term, but this means the fact that this man is always in a professional wrestling ring. He is always watching wrestling. He's always discussing wrestling. He is so good at this sport that he wants to add to it, hence the fact of wanting to be a revolutionary. He wants to not change the outside of the sport, but also the inside of the sport. He wants to change everything about it, and by doing that, he has just injected professional wrestling into his veins to the point of being one of the best wrestlers going now, despite the fact that Bryan Keith is absolutely hammering him in the face.
And you were definitely seeing two different mentalities on the line. Darius Lockhart is out here trying to run consciousness to our people. Bryan Keith is trying to run the streets. He's posted up. He's on the slab. He's sipping that thing on that lean, double cupped, ready to go ahead and put him to sleep.
Bryan Keith is here for his money, but he was there for that lariat too. Oh, my God.
Open the door with that lariat. Darius Lockhart has got a fighting chance now. He's back in the game. Now, the thing about it is he's got to be able to put it together. I don't know whether that's through the technical aspects that were helping him out earlier. I just don't think it's a smart move if we're trying to go fist for fist, punch for punch with Bryan Keith. But we're going to find out. It's an Old West showdown right now. Everybody's coming out guns blazing. We're going to see what he's got.
Ducking the big one, ducking the second big one. Head of steam going over for the crossbody, twisting it over with his hips into the crossbody, nailing it.
Now, for those who don't know that, Darius sent me a GIF where he was working on that as far as it goes. That was a popular counter by a certain black female wrestler that we may know by the name of Ethel, who used to run that all the time. He's literally watching old tapes and pulling things of that nature.
Once again, a student of the game and a student of suplexes as well. Beautiful T-bone variation there. Staggering Bryan Keith eating and getting back up. Eating a second one for his trouble, for his bravado.
It was so good he had to go for two, you know what I'm saying? The seconds, baby. We giving buffets of suplexes tonight.
Got himself a plate and a second plate, but that straight boot to the face knocked him back down to his knees. Like you said, those legs giving out on Darius Lockhart from all that abuse to the face he's been taking.
Hold on, let me hit my Booker T. We got a 2 suplex minimum, and water don't count. You know what I'm saying? We about to get it in there. It's on like neck bone.
I will play this back for Bryan Keith, and he'll tell you if that was a good one.
Please don't run this back, because then he's going to put a bounty on me. I ain't got them. I don't need those kind of problems right now.
Need those kind of problems. But speaking of problems right now, the Revolutionary not seeing any. Going to the top rope. Beautiful cross body. Nailing it. Picture perfect. Hooked both of those legs and that arm, though.
That crossbody known as the Flying Soul right there, named after the popular black gymnastics group. Again, all his things are odes and touches to black history when we were getting ready to go ahead and do so. And that not being enough, you can see the beating taking its toll on him because the fatigue is not there. He's not putting things together as quickly as he should be.
Bryan Keith this time going for the nose and the eyes region. The bounty hunter deciding he will get his bounty no matter what it takes. Eating a chop. Beautiful pinpoint into Geary there.
That's a dirty bastard right there. You go for somebody's nose like that. Oh my God.
He may be a dirty bastard, but he has the bank account to prove that it works. And that beautiful DDT that might have signed off. That might be Darius Lockhart's death warrant right there. 1, 2, no. Oh,
you saw how he put the little pause on it? That way he can get that extra momentum off of the ropes before springing into that DDT. And Keith looked upset.
That is indeed the face of an infuriated man. I know he didn't take Darius Lockhart for granted. I know he didn't expect this injured man to come in weaker, but he is definitely not happy about the fact he's having to put in this much work to put a man to sleep in front of all these people. His first match ever at For the Culture.
Oh yeah, he's like, these are both men who have distinct, again, we were talking about ideologies and what they're after. Mm-hmm. The only common thing that they have going on right now is the fact that they both want to win. So we got to find out who's going to be able to pull out what. It's going to take a kill shot at this point. And I don't know what's going on with Darius right now. I know it's hurting him. I don't know if he's playing rope-a-dope, but he's got to do something or this is going to finish up the wrong way.
We're certainly getting into knockout territory here in the match. Both men are staggered on their last win's leg trip. Beautiful knee strike there.
Huey Knee Newton right there.
Huey Knee Newton indeed. And look at Bryan Keith gasping for air there on the bottom buckle.
Oh, getting the Nation Time going. Asada driver. That's got to be it.
A Asada driver, a backflip suplex into a prone position, and that is it. Darius Lockhart wins his first match at For the Culture after returning from injury.
And he is back in effect. I think it's safe to say. Let's go down for the official decision.
You damn right I want a revolution. I'm a revolutionary, fool.
The winner of the match, the revolutionary Darius Lockhart.
1 year on the shelf, wondering if he was even going to be able to come back from that torn pectoral muscle. And now he comes to Tampa to find redemption, to find being able to rise again and being able to hold his head up high.
What we got here?
Oh, it might pop off.
We really are about to see what is more important here. The pride in one's work or the pride in one's bank account here is Darius talking to Bryan.
I would surely hope that respect wins the day today.
Trying to wave him off though. Bryan not letting him go.
Wow.
What an absolute sign of respect. The message to be a revolutionary.
I'll take that any day over the weak-ass indie handshake at the end of the match. That says everything that needs to be said right there. And we're running it back one time, that flip driver, the Asada driver. And, I mean, it gets it done. If it can put down Shane Strickland, if it can put down Chase Owens, it damn sure can get the job done on Bryan Keith today.
It has put down next-level talent, and one of those next-level talents is Bryan Keith. An absolute war between two gladiators who are both for the culture.